Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Friday, April 17th, and I guess the market just kind of died off after that little sell-off we had before by 1 o'clock. Exactly at 1 o'clock, we got this trend killer. They just ran it hard down, complete reversal, and then they just kind of ran out of gas at the initial balance. I just been twisting in the wind since. Haven't done much after that, so we are trading in the range. But if you look at the exchange momentum chart, we are in a pretty good spot here. We are to the upside. We are in price discovery. We've been busting it. Look at this thing. This is like a move and a half to the upside. There's no failure at this point. We are solidly in price discovery, and I'm not seeing any selling going into the close. Anything significant at least. So good spot there. We'll see how they're probably going to close it roundabout here. So we're starting this from the long side of the market going into the overnight. Pretty obvious ledge here, right? You see a pretty good support there at 71.50. And then we're going to have to see what this looks like going into the weekend. But this is over. This is all this happened in the morning when they announced that they opened the Strait of Hormuz and everything was going on there, and it looked pretty good. So at that point, market rocketed, oil plummeted, and they're down at $83 right now. But it is pretty. It is to the downside, and indices are way up. So staying on the long side of going into the overnight. Let's see how it ends up starting off. And weekends are always weird because, well, I think it's going to be a good weekend. I'm not foreseeing if seeing any massive issue going on over the weekend. I think the deal is everything is over with. It's just a matter of wrapping it up and kind of putting it to bed. Nasdaq, same story there. Pretty good move to the upside. I managed to get one more trade in here, and I bought the high again. And I thought I was being cute about it, but I kind of missed it a little when it started trading higher here. So after this rundown, I was expecting it to run it back up again. That's kind of what my expectation was. So when it started heading higher here, I got in on a long trade, kind of bad. I immediately got stuck, twisting in the way. And I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? You got me again." So I'm sitting in here. It's like, okay, we'll see how it's going. So when it started trading higher, it's like, okay, great. Got out of it pretty quick. Again, screwed it up. It's not the great, well, not the bad trade location, but it's one of these things at Nasdaq. When days like this, when it runs a little bit stalls, it's just such an easy thing to get caught in. But this one it was more a lucky trade than anything else. So I was down 60 and I'm up 8 now. So I'm up to 50 on the ES, $8 on the Nasdaq on 6 round turns total. So this would be like a flat out break even kind of a day. This is what this is. And I'll take it, I mean, I was down at early on here in that first Nasdaq trade I took. I was down in the whole $60, and I made it back to break even, and I'm going to leave it at that. So at that point, no time to be too cute about it. Trading this slop here after that little rundown, I was expecting actually a bit more of a run up, but the fact that they just kind of died off, it's like, okay, I will just have to just leave it for now then. So they're trading in a range. They're to the upside, and I will just stay on the long side on ES and the Nasdaq. Now on the ES, the obvious buy opportunity is going to be at 71.50. It's going to be probably one here at the session open at 71.15s. On the Nasdaq, that level is going to be around about 26,700, 26,730s, and probably one down here a little bit lower at the 26,620s. But I will adjust that for Monday's trading. With pretty good stuff going on there, I had to say. So we'll take it. It is definitely a strong market, and good news is that you can see it's like a spring-loaded thing. It wants to take off to the upside. So there we have it. And looking at the bonds, bond market is gonna run out of gas. I didn't have it. I didn't take any trades on this one. I was thinking about a long trade here, but you can see if you take a long trade down here, you would just be twisting in the wind back and forth for hours. So a day like this, when it reprices hard like this, a little rotation and then stalls, kind of stay away from it. And if it's stuff going on and you see rotations, fine. But this looks like a reaction and then flat line. Is what this looks like. But I'm staying on the long side on the bonds right now. Let's see if they can run it up to the 115s to take that thing down a little bit. That would be nice. But that's kind of where we are on this thing. Um, Right now, I'm just let me go over here. I'm sitting in an oil trade. I'm just gonna get out of this freaking oil trade. I'm sitting in this thing here. I thought I was gonna be cute about that oil trade. Got in on this thing here, and I'm just let me give it a couple more ticks like that. So I'm sitting in this oil trade right now, Coinbase. I got short here on that, and when it ran it hard into resistance, it kind of stalled. So I got in short there. I figured out, okay, I had a good shot at doing something, but you can see I just got stuck twisting in the wind. It may run it lower now into the close. I don't know, but I'm not going to sit around for too much longer in this thing here. I was expecting it to develop faster, but just been twisting in the wind here. So I just clicked in a limit order here to get out here at a few ticks of profit. So we will see how it goes. But I'm going to be sitting in this for until by 1 o'clock. I'm going to just take myself out to win or lose, and we'll see. But anyway, we leave it there, guys. So back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and we are in a pretty good spot here for market to keep going higher. So definitely we're in price discovery in both the ES and Nasdaq. Pretty darn spectacular, if you ask me. And I would not be. You can see here Nasdaq's capital flow way up here again. Price discovery, guys. Market is, and we just started. We haven't even gone into earnings season, so we'll see. It could be some action going on there, but at this point, I'm just going to be taking this with a grain of salt. All right, trading from the long side of the market going into the overnight on Sunday, Monday. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you back on Monday. All right, guys, later.